Kerala at welcome.com, WYLCOME. So let's look at more of the words that contain the ow or o sound, the OW. But this time we're going to look at the OU. Maybe a couple OWs thrown in there, but basically the OU. So let's share our screen. A little bit of different setup here. But same thing. So we have OU. Look at the pronunciation. It's not cowed. It's not cold. It's could, the short U sound, could. Would, very important auxiliaries. Could, would. Should, should. Okay, so let's look at those again. Could, look at the phonetic spelling. Could, would, should. Furious, short U, short U. Now here we are with the long U, the long O sound, but it still is the diphthong OU, do, O. And how do you know? You really don't. There's no, it's not like it, you know, it comes before an O, comes before a C. I know these words, frankly, because it's my language. I did research to find out why it is the way it is. But long before I knew the research or did the research, I was taught that dough is spelled, if you're talking about the dough to make, let's say, tortillas or dough to make pizza, it's D-O-U-G-H. Also dough, when you're talking about, I don't have enough dough, which means money, it's D-O-U-G-H, right? Because sometimes you can say, you used to be able to say I don't have enough bread. You don't say that anymore. And then doe for a baby deer, or it's a female deer. It's either a baby deer or a female deer. It's D-O-E. And that's how I knew. What was irritating to me was when somebody said, well, why is it like that? I couldn't answer. That's when I started doing research into the language, understanding the etymology of words, to understanding the history of the language. Okay. Although some of these words you've seen, if you've seen the other videos on the OW and OU, thorough, moldy, I explain all of this, but this is just the different sounds of the OU, but that's also some of the OUs included on the OW video and in the cards, though. Okay, hold on. A little mix up here. Okay, moldy. Then thought, ought. Sought. Now we're speaking, let me just go back because I can see that can be confusing. Let's look at sought, ought. Ought, this is the long O sound, ought. So, oh, this is long call, off. Now we're going back to a short O sound, because there are several different sounds for the short O. Short O can have more than one sound. It just means it's not the long O. The long O is always when the letter says its name. So it can either be A, E-I-O-U. Everything else and every other sound is considered short. Out, shout. Ouch. Once again, you've probably seen this on the other video. Louse, mouse, sour, short, cloud, owl, plow, owl, fountain, owl, owl, bout, how many bouts, how many rounds, house, foul, pouting. I explained all this on the other video when you're dealing with the OW, short OW, ROU, south, noun, name of a person, place, thing, or idea, clout, power, souse, to get drunk, wound, rather than wound, thou, it used to be used for you, just like in Spanish and in French, you have two U's. English at one time had two U. It had the U formal, the informal. Bound, ound, out, our self, oust. And some of these words might be useful, even if you know the rule. Ounce. Now we're talking about a different short U, a different short OU. And the phonetic sign is the uppercase V, the uppercase V. Enough, of. You see the GH is spelled, is pronounced like an F. Just like tough, just like cough. They end in GH, they do not end in F, and they definitely do not end in PH. Tough, once again, that GH sound. And of course, we're talking about the short OU. Rough, weeben, we, no wonder I couldn't pronounce it correctly because it's French. So this is French in English. So my pronunciation might not be the best. These are words I rarely use. I say we, but then again, you don't do that in English because people think you're trying to be arrogant or very pretentious. If you answer in another language, oh, listen to her, she's trying to be French. Weather, but this is the OU. So I'm not doing it so much for the pronunciation because probably my pronunciation is off, but it's to show you that the OU has can also have the wah sound. This is from French. Ouija. Now the OU, back to English. Thank God. Back to English. And now we're talking about the OU having a different short sound, or, for. That's why, these are, not that's why, this is a homophone because you have F-O-U-R and then you have F-O-R. For is a very important word, it's a basic word in English, and so is for the number. But for the preposition is F-O-R, for the number is F-O-U-R. But look at all the different pronunciations for the O-U. Tour, to make a tour, or to go on a tour, for, tour. Pour, Like you have pores in your skin, like little holes. And sometimes, especially the sweat comes out of your pores, that's P-O-R-E-S. That's not P-O-U-R. To pour is to take the liquid from one container and put it in another. And the action of doing that is to pour. Mourn, to mourn is to cry and to be sad that someone died. It comes from the French mort, M-O-R-T-E, which means death. Every time I see that word, that's the first thing I think of is death. Even the word mortgage, and that's what you pay every month. If you buy a house, you have to pay a mortgage. Even the M-O-R-T there, it's not a mistake. It comes from the French mort, which means death. On, fourth, which is, those are cardinal numbers: first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10th. Words that end in the TH, numbers that, excuse me, numbers that end in the TH. So here is just the OU and the different pronunciation. One pronunciation, the one that's W, comes from French. And I know my pronunciation for that was off. If someone from French hears that, they're going to say, oh my God, the Americans, they should try to stop speaking French. But I will not stop. Okay, so this is Kerala Fickler McLean at welcome, WYLCOME.com. Share my videos, please, and subscribe, please. Help me get to that 1 million so I can live off of this instead of having to do other jobs and doing this, you know, when and how I can. If the public support people who try to live off of their skills, how far we could go. How far we could go. There would be people, and no one person is paying $1 zillion. I'll stop sharing, and I will say thank you for visiting my site. Thank you for listening to my video. I hope it's of some help. Also, especially for English teachers, you want to be able to know your field. So when students say, well, why do you say it that way, or whatever, you want to be able to answer. Sometimes the answer is, that's just the way it is. But a lot of times it's not. Thank you. Have a good day.